live from Japan. It is Tuesday, July 17th, and this is Stark Raving Totals. Welcome to the segment. We are having technical difficulties, so we had to reboot everything. I had to reboot everything. It was my fault. But we finally got everything up and running. Excuse me while I get to the right pages and the right hookup so I can see your comments when you come in. Oh, there it is right there. And we're good to go, man. How's everybody doing? So if you're on the other page, sorry about that. Hopefully you'll make it over to this right here. And this is where we talk about totals across the board. Today we got the Major League Baseball All-Star Game. We are going to talk about that. And we got one WNBA play going on here. Really interesting number I want to talk about. So quick recap. We had the day off the other day, and the day prior to that, we really should have gone 2-0, as you know. But we had we won in Major League Baseball, and then we lost in the WNBA. Major League Baseball, we kind of snuck in there with the Giants and Oakland going under the total. And then WNBA was really weird, where they scored like 30, 35 points, something like that in the final 4 minutes to go over our 174.5. They ended up at 175. That was Dallas and Seattle. But man, that game really should have gone under. That was some bad luck. And that just happens. So we'll move on. Today. So yeah, like I mentioned, we're going to talk about a couple different games here. Let's talk about totals across the board. I had the day off the other day, so I'm getting recalibrated here. You guys come in and give great comments. SBRpicks.com, Sportsbook Review. That's the main webpage. YouTube channel, that's this right here. And of course, we got Facebook going on. Lots of good stuff there. World Cup's over. So that's sad. France won. Kind of surprised a little bit. That France won the tournament, not that they won the championship, because they were pretty heavy favorites to win that. But so that's all over, and now we get back to some regular sports. We're going to hit another All-Star break here with the WNBA, and then we'll kick everything back into gear. Japanese baseball for me, All-Star break just finished it, so I can start jumping on handicapping that as well. So it's kind of like a little pause time in here as well. Quick mention, and we are jumping into these games. Don't worry. We got one more week of this segment, and then I'm going to be off for almost 3 weeks, just to let you know. I'll be traveling. So just to give you a heads up on that, let's talk. Let's get into this. Okay, so All-Star Game. Let's just jump right in. So yeah, Scherzer versus Sale. But really, honestly, who knows how much they're going to pitch. It's the All-Star Game. And the dynamics of it now is different. So I'm not 100% sure how it's going to roll out. I'll talk about the number, though, and I'll tell you what, I'm probably going to put a half unit on, or maybe not even a half unit, because it's the All-Star Game. But I kind of like the over. Weird, huh? Let me tell you why I like the over, though. So first of all, the other day, the public was all over the over. That was about 24 hours ago. Not quite, maybe 13 hours ago. Now the public's on the under. The line's at 7 with higher juice on the over. But I think I'm going to pay the juice and take the over. And let me tell you why. But just for like a half unit, or honestly, don't even comment to me about this. You don't even have to play this. It's the All-Star Game, but I think there's a little bit of value. There's also an NBA Summer League Championship with Portland and Lakers we could talk about. So if we look at the last several All-Star Games, all really low-scoring affairs. I mean, back from 2010, I mean, check out these scores. You can see why it's at 7. 3-1, 5-1, 8-0, 3-0, 5-3, 6-3, 6-3. That was the biggest one with like the lowest amount of hits. 4-2, 2-1 were the last two. But if you look at the last 2 years, like last year, that 2-1 final, I mean, they knocked out. If you look at the box score, they had 17 hits. 17 hits, only 3 runs. And then you go back to 2016, they had a 4-2 final, but they had 18 hits. Right? Or was it 16? Double check that. Am I wrong? They had 18 hits, yeah. They had 18 hits, but only 6 runs. And then you go back to 2015, where they had a 6-3 final, 9 runs, they only had 13 hits. You just don't know. You don't know where the runs are going to come from. But I'm going to take the over. I think the 7's in play. I don't know. I just think it seems to me they're kind of due to score a few more runs than normal. I just think that's how it's going to roll out. I really don't know what else to say about that one. Wow, 2008, J.D. Drew was the MVP. Oh, good old days. Michael Young in 2006 was the MVP. Carl Crawford in 2009. Wow. Oh, I miss those guys. Garrett Anderson in 2003. Sorry, I'm just getting nostalgic. Miguel Tejada, 2005. Looking at the MVPs. My boy Derek Jeter in 2000. Okay. Anyways, let's move on. I'm gonna take a shot on the over here, over the 7. It's definitely something you can play or not play. But I'm gonna go and take a shot here on the over. I think it's gonna be in play. All right, let's talk about WNBA. Real quick mention on the NBA Summer League Championship. I have no clue how it's gonna roll out. I did take the overs yesterday though, because it just the way the line was moving made me put a half unit on both of them. Both the overs hit today. I don't know how it's going to roll out. It's like 180. That's a lot of points. The time frame's the same as the WNBA game. Man, those guys are really getting up and down the floor. So I think the over's in play, but it is the championship game, so maybe the defenses will step up a little bit. Not really sure. Last year it was the same two, I believe, Portland and the Lakers. I can't remember who won. WNBA. Okay, so this would be the main game today, where I'm going to have a unit on this game. Check this out. Atlanta versus Connecticut. Atlanta, they've won right now 4 in a row. They look like a completely different team than what we saw, and they've won 5 out of their last 6. But 2 of the games were versus Indiana. Still, they did beat Phoenix. They were competitive versus Seattle, and they beat Washington twice. So something has clicked for them. I'm not really sure. And they've been actually pretty good since they lost really poor 2 really bad games where they lost to Indiana by 30, which was stupid. And then they lost to New York, who has been less than stellar. Something's changed for them though over the last several games. They play great defense. So here's the thing for me. So let's just check out the line real quick. It was 167.5. Right now the public's on the under, which kind of makes sense a little bit. It's 60 to 40%. It's gone up to 169.5 at most places. Okay. On the season, these 2 teams have met twice. The first game, they went to 159, and that was Atlanta at home. Next game, Atlanta got them at home again. It was a really, really low scoring affair, 75 to 70. And neither team shot particularly well. If we look at that game, both teams shot under 40%, if I remember correctly. Let me double check. Yeah, both teams did not shoot very well, and the pace was so-so. But here's the deal for me. Atlanta recently, like just over their last 5 games, I mean, over the last 3 games, they're going bananas. They're shooting over 50%. But over their last 5, where they're 4-1, well, they are. They're 4-1, but they've won 6 out of their last. Let's go back. Let's do their 6. Let's do their last 6. Okay. Let's say the last 6 games where they've just seemed like they've turned a corner. Check out these stats. They got rolling. Right now, they're averaging 70 attempts per game. That's second in the league their last 6 games. The number 1 team, Connecticut, 72.7 attempts per game. But they're shooting, I'm talking about Atlanta now, 46.7% in their last 6. And they're averaging 88 points per game. Connecticut, although they're averaging more attempts, they're shooting just 44%, but they're averaging 81.7%, but they're at home. At home, Connecticut is ridiculous. They are the number 1 shooting team at home this season. They're shooting 49.6% and averaging 92 points per game. So there's a reason why the number is so high. The reason why both these teams played to under 160 twice, and now the line's been set to 167.5. I'm going over. I think it's going to be a track meet. There's no reason for me to believe it's not. Now, maybe it'll be a little bit slower or they won't score as much because it's a pretty good matchup and both teams are playing pretty well right now. Connecticut, really good win over Minnesota. I actually I took them on the second half. Yeah, I took them. They were getting +4 at the half and ended up taking them because Minnesota's just not. That was a chump line. Minnesota's not the same team as we've seen in season past. They're just not playing very good basketball. Maybe they're getting a little bit older, but the league seems to be catching up to them rather well. I'm taking the over. I think it's going to be really up and down. Now, whether they shoot, I mean, if they can shoot over 40%, I think they get there because I think it's going to be an absolute track meet. If Atlanta stays consistent with how they've been over their last several games, then this should get over the total. I mean, they're having their last 6, 88.8 points per game. They're shooting 46, like I said, 46.7%. They're having 70 attempts. They're really good up and down. And so is Connecticut. That's why the line's so high. I mean, it's not rocket science. You just have to look at the stats a little bit. I think they can. They might not. It's a lot of points, but for a unit, Sorry, I got a message here. And let's see. And we're gonna have to wrap this up real quick. So let's spend a few minutes here getting some comments. For me, I got two plays here. I'm going over on both. I'm going over Major League Baseball over the 7, and then going WNBA. I'm going over the 169.5 with Atlanta and Connecticut. Not going to overthink it. We'll be back on Thursday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern. Let's get a few comments, and then we're going to go ahead and move on with the day. Real quick. Hey, Paco, Teddy. Wings won me some cash this morning. All right. Yeah, came. I know he scored like 50 points. Teddy B. Stark. Also, I know you don't bet Summerly. Oh, I just talked about it. Love the Blazers. I'm a Lakers fan. Okay. You like Portland? Okay. Thank you very much for the comment, Teddy B. Turbo Beams. What's up, Jacob? Not sure what I'm gonna do without you over those 3 weeks. Will you come in low check? No, probably not. I'm gonna be a ghost. I'm going 3 weeks off. Just gonna be with my family in California. If I have a chance to come over to Las Vegas, I will. But otherwise, I'll catch you guys at the end of 3 weeks. I have not taken any time off of SBR over the past 3 years. Like the most I've taken off is like a week. Like I have not taken like any days off, and this is finally a time I get to do it. What else we got here? Trouble Beans talking about Major League Baseball. I appreciate you guys' comments. I'm not going to get into everything intricately today because we kind of got to move on and get out of here. Paco saying thank you to Teddy Trouble Beans Stark. So the Dream on team rates have a 95.3 for offensive rating, second to last, and then opponent rates they have a 96.9 offensive rating, last in WNBA. Yeah, they're actually. I mean, if you look at them, also they're like statistically, their overall stats are solid. I mean, they're defensively both teams are good. You got Atlanta allowing 79 points per game. Connecticut's allowing 81.8. 41.8% and 44% allowed, respectively. But it's the recent trend is what I'm really banking on today. I think the way Atlanta's done, they're doing something different. And Trophy, does this mean they don't play great offense? And also, is this useful? I'm sorry. Back to your original question. Oh, with the offensive rating, no, that doesn't mean that. And I'm not sure about those statistics. They have their opponent rating they're allowing a 96.9 offensive rating. I'd have to double check on that because defensively they're one of the best statistically in the WNBA. That's an advanced metric. I would need to look at that a little bit more. I don't know if that's 100% correct. But no, I mean they're a good defensive team and a good offensive team. So we're talking about Atlanta right now with Turbo Beam's question. I'd have to dig in that a little bit more to get back to you. Unfortunately, I don't have time for that. But that's a great comment. That's the kind of stuff we want to have in here. Thanks, bud. Sean, what is Stark on night? Just hop on in the chat. I got two. I'm going over with everything today. Major League Baseball, I'm going over the 7 for like a half unit, if that. It's All-Star Game. And then I'm going over 169.5 with Atlanta and Connecticut. I think it's going to be a track meet. Maybe they get stuck in the mud. We'll see. And what else we got here? I have no leads on any sides. Why are we wrapping up so fast? Because there's another show coming on that you guys got to tune into. Sean, and you guys are talking to each other. Okay, cool. I'm going to go ahead. No worries. I just pulled them from the WME, trying to work through them. Yeah, offensive ratings is exactly what it says. It's their offensive rating. Yeah, it's an advanced metric, and it can be useful. For me, I really like the shooting percentages and the pace because we're talking about totals here. I like shooting percentage with pace. That's what I really dig into when it comes to it's one of the side things for me again. Turbo Beams, it comes back to the number. What are odds making sense in the number at? They said at 167.5. That's way higher than what we've seen in the 2 previous games because of the recent trend. It's a lot of points, but I got a nagging feeling that they get there. So I'm going to take over the total. That's it for me today. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. We do got to kind of move on. That's it. Thanks for tuning in. So this is what we got, guys. We have 2 plays here in Major League Baseball. Don't forget, Stark Raving totals Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. We'll be back on Thursday, 4:30 p.m. Eastern. Then I'll hit you guys up Saturday, Sunday, and then that'll be it. And then I'm gonna be off on vacation. So just a few more segments. Oh no. Sorry, we got all next week, and then I'm off. Okay, sorry, 2 more weeks, and then I'm heading out. So I'll catch you guys on Thursday, 4:30 p.m. Eastern. For today, this is what we got. Major League Baseball All-Star Game. I'm going to take a half unit shot over the 7. They put up a lot of hits over the last 2 years in this contest. but they just haven't scored the runs, not enough clutch hits. I think they get them today. I think it all just kind of statistically it comes back around. So I think they just sneak over this 7 here. We'll take a shot. And then we got over with Atlanta and Connecticut for a unit over the 169.5. So we got snake bit, our last WNBA game. Hopefully that doesn't happen on this one. And we'll be back on Thursday. We'll see how it all works out. We're running positive, so that's what we want to stay at. And we'll go ahead and take a shot on these two today. You guys, best of luck. Tune into more SBR content coming up on our YouTube channel. And I'll catch you guys Thursday. Take care. We'll talk soon.